City, Kansas, a driver that's in the hunt for that points battle. Car number 12, that'll be Deacon McRoberts. Deacon McRoberts in the 12. Behind Deacon's going to be the 28L. That is Jensen Long. Jensen Long out of Manford, Oklahoma, a regular here at Port City Raceway. Behind Long, we've got the 36, car number 36 of Landon Miner out of House Springs, Missouri. In the 36, we see the 71 of Tate Gurney out of Brownsburg, Indiana. The bullet by Sawyer. Going to work his way into turn number 3. Also on track with us here, the 21S of Heath Walton out of Mifton, Pennsylvania. The Hyper Racing 21S. And then we've got the Brody Stewart out of Edmond, Oklahoma. Car number 27, the Lubbock Wrecker entry down into turn number 1. Trying to work the berm here. Most drivers that run here weekly aren't quite used to it. Manuel Zayas from Sun City West, Arizona. There in the 17Z. And the 66 of Miss Remy White from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The bullet by Sawyer going to roll down the back straightaway as in that group. Quick qualifying, working at it, will be Deacon McRoberts going 11-1-6-6. A 1-1-1-6-6 for Deacon McRoberts. Final qualifying group hot lap session of the night rolls out onto the racing surface. Car number 1 is Hudson Truitt going through turns 1 and 2. Behind Hudson, we have car number 22T of Tucker Ernst. Then the 2 car, that'll be the 2 of Luke Boer out of Rogers, Arkansas. To the inside of Luke Boer is the 21A of Me Marie Ashcraft out of Callahan, Colorado. Working up to the outside of him there, car number 12F, that is Oakley Fuller. Oakley Fuller in the 12F. Car number 92, that is Lathan Knott. Lathan Knott in the 92 out of Yukon, Oklahoma. The 2K of the Thompson Automotive and Sales 2K of Kinsley Coffrin from Collinsville, Oklahoma. Getting righted and pointed back into the right direction. And now, B-Rex, Brexton Bush, the Surf Pro number 18B, works out of turn number 4. So there's everybody on track here as we get this last qualifying group into the books. Got one upside, right side looking there, getting over the berm, but still continuing on. Green flag is out. We're waiting for times to cross by the My Race Pass app. If you don't have it, get the app today. It's race night in the palm of your hand. It's My Race Pass. As times start to trickle in, and of course, no surprise here, old B-Rex going to the top of the charts. The 18B, Brexton Bush, going an 11-2-8-4, 1-1-2-8-4 for Brexton Bush. Still a couple of laps here to see if anyone can't try and top that. Hudson Truitt trying to make it happen, an 11-2-6-9. Truitt looking quick there in the 1. Lathan Knott as well, an 11-5-2-5. But there you have it right there. Qualifying group number 6 goes in the books. It's going to be the 18B of Brexton Bush. The Surf Pro number 18B going to roll over to the scales as the water truck will make its way off of the surface. All those fans here in attendance want to verify that you do know there are some merchandise trailers here. You know, there's some pretty sweet swag down there. From KKM down to the Flying A Power I merchandise trailer over to the Kel Drake merchandise trailer. As we are ready for opening ceremonies, we're going to move right into this show. We're going to move things right along. Show looks good. Everything looks great. We're going to go into opening ceremonies here. So, race fans, if you would, please rise. Remove cap for tonight's opening ceremonies here from Racers for Christ with us. So happy to see this young man back here at Port City Raceway. Was kind of bummed that we didn't see him last weekend, but nonetheless, he's here and he's ready. It's Mr. Jackson Whitaker.
Let's pray together. Father in heaven, it is a blessing to be here tonight. We want to thank you so much for this track, for the fans, each of the drivers, the preparation that has gone into this weekend. Thank you for Keith and his organization and being able to put this together is such a great event. So tonight, Lord, we ask for your protection on each one. We want to thank you for the country we live in, the freedoms we enjoy. We pray for your continued blessings. Guide us tonight. Protect us, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
And please stay standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Thank you, race fans, as we get ready to go. Heat racing action. All heat racing for the stock non-wing being brought to you by Hyper Racing, chassis design that is based on racing experience combined with the laws of motion and physics with components and knowledge built into every piece. Get Hyper at hyperracing.com. Hyper Racing, proud sponsor, heat racing action for the stock non-wings. Haas, are you ready?
I am chomping at the bit. Hyper Racing Heat Race number 1 is going to line up like this. On the pole, the driver out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. That is the 49 of Cody Barnes. To the outside from Tulsa, Oklahoma, car number 14A, it's Chris Andrews. Row number 2 on the inside from Canyon, Texas, the 20Q of Brecken Reese. And to the outside from Marlow, Oklahoma, the 33, it's Jet Nunley. Row number 3 on the inside from Pueblo, Colorado, the 21E, that is Enzo Spicola. To the outside from Owasso, Oklahoma, the 95 of Riker Morrow. Row number 4 on the inside, Kyle Busch out of Las Vegas, Nevada in the 51. And to the outside from Prescott Valley, Arizona, it's Cole Warner, the 19. In row number 5 on the inside from Eufaula, Oklahoma, that is Tatum McElvaney in the 11T. And to the outside, the 25 from Miami, Oklahoma, that is William Reeves. So 10 cars scheduled to go 8 laps, looking at gaining, again, those valuable passing points. They all receive points for their qualifying effort. We'll then take those and combine those with their finishing points here at passing and finishing points for their heat race. That's going to line the top 40 up into qualifiers. So your faster guys are always going to be inverted. You're going to see the guys with the higher points being inverted to see what they may be able to produce racing-wise whenever it comes down to shaking things up. You see a couple of folks looking over the racing surface, verifying that everything is ready to go, and I'm telling you right now, I am HOTTOGO. I'm hot to go for heat race number 1.
Heat race number 1, getting ready to head up the ramp. Earlier in the night, we would see Colin Hutchinson picking up his second seasonal Quick Time Award. That ties Mac Leopard for the most this year. Wyatt Miller, Frank Flood, Noah Carpenter, Sam Johnson, Trevor Klein, all Quick Time Award winners in the 2025 racing season for your stock non-wing. And when we get into heat racing action, Sam Johnson, 4 heat race wins to his credit. Neil Allison, Brant Woods, each with a trio, as Trevor Gotch, Parker Prairie, Gunnar Pio, Noah Carpenter, Colton Hardy, Brecken Reese, Aiden Perdue, Mac Leopard, Kyle Hooper, Kobe Sokol, Drew Sherman, all with a pair, Russ Dysinger, Hank Soros, Jesse Pate, Ryder Hughart, Harley Holland, Keegan Osentowski, Frank Flood, Chase Crabtree, Chris Carroll, Trevor Klein, Cameron Campbell, Steven Snyder Jr., Quinn Jones, Cale Cannon, Bryant Wiedemann, Garrett Benson, Jet Nunley, Christian Bruno, Cole Bodine, Colin Hutchinson, James Rosselli, and K.J. Snow, all heat race winners so far this season. And that was in the Challenge Series, but it's a whole different little program, if you will, here with the KKM Giveback Classic, as A lot on the line, you could say, for this weekend, and a big decision to be made for the feature winner. Here it comes Saturday night as $15,000 or a ride.
I'm telling you right now, I've turned Keith Coons down 4 different times on a ride, so I'm going to take the $15K myself. That'll buy a lot of photos from a lot of cool photographers and videographers that are here this weekend with us. A big shout out to those folks that help the media wheels move, so to speak, in motorsports. It's not an easy job. It's not a cheap job to have, and it's definitely very, very often overlooked. Again, if you're tuning in live with us here, very thankful to have you on your screens at home, whether it be on Start to Finish or FloRacing. Joining forces with those folks over at Flo has been very, very, very huge for us here at Start to Finish, and very appreciative for them to allow us to kind of co-stream the event. So it's cool to be back on your screens. It's good to be back on the microphone, and it is so good to see Heat Race number 1 roll out onto the racing surface. Again, a quick breakdown of your lineup. It's Barnes and Andrews, a couple of guys that have plenty of laps around the Port City Raceway. Right behind them, a couple of youngsters. It goes from young to younger in Reese and Nunley, Spicola and Morrow, Kyle Busch and Cole Warner in row 4, Tatum McElvaney and William Reeves in row number 5, Hyper Racing, Heat Race number 1. It is time to kick off the KKM Giveback Classic at Port City Raceway. They roll into turn number 3 off of 4. We go green, and the race is on. Down into turn number 1, things start to get interesting as Barnes looks to the inside of Chris Andrews down here through 3 and 4. Andrews going to get back to the inside of him, kind of up and over the berm, hooks the left front over the berm and kind of uses it to kind of slingshot himself around turns 3 and 4. Down here, again, staying steady around 3 and 4. It's going to be Andrews, your race leader. Cody Barnes in second. Jet Nunley there in third, but looking for more. Out of turn number 2, Jet Nunley now moving into that second spot, and get ready because the caution flag is going to fly as you got one facing the wrong way here in the infield. Right at the flag stand. Get that thing spun around and join the field. Car number 25 of William Reeves back on the throttle. Going to tag the back of the field here. Things going to get interesting here as we kind of bunch them back up. That top 3 are kind of broken away just a little bit as Jet Nunley was going to work there on Cody Barnes for the runner-up spot. We'll see with 6 laps still remaining, still plenty of time for some action here in Heat Race number 1. Green flags back out. We get back underway. Down into turn number 1. Chris Andrews going to get a good run here and take off from the field. Battle for second still ensuing. Brecken Reese is there. Spicola's there. Kyle Busch laying in loom there, running in that 6th spot. Brecken Reese going to fall back in position. We've got your leader checking out on the field. We've got everybody else kind of dipping and diving, trying to find some drive here as Jet Nunley's going to move into that 2nd spot. The factory 14, number 33, goes into the 2nd spot as Cody Barnes holding on to the 3rd spot for right now. Somebody's sounding like they're having a little bit of a hiccup and a little bit of a Sour Patch Kids running through the engine as out of turn number 4, upside down, car number 25 of William Reeves tags the outside wall and goes for a ride down the front straightaway. Get a thumbs up there from series director, looking for a wrecker as well. William Reeves gets upside down the front straightaway, and I was making mention of a car sounding like it maybe have a little bit of a Sour Patch Kids or something running through the muffler. I don't want to say it was the 25, but it seemed like it was kind of from that area, and he was giving her all she had, trying to maybe kick the sour, get out of the sour, get back into the sweet spot there for the 25, but on the hook he goes. Driver is okay, so that's number 1, and the thing that we want to get a round of applause for that driver coming to us from Miami, Oklahoma to run the KKM Giveback Classic. Hopefully he can make some repairs and get ready for a B feature here later on this evening, as points are not going to be on the high side for the 25 having issues here in heat race number 1. Back to your leader here, Chris Andrews was smoking them, lining up and knocking them down, getting back to green already here, going quickly and promptly. Chris Andrews gets on that loud pedal, but Jet Nunley timing it just perfect, getting a good run here down the back straightaway, looking into turn number 3, closes it within a quarter of a car length. Chris Andrews able to pull him down the front straightaway. This is where things are going to get interesting because he only got 2 laps remaining here in this one. White flag set to fly. Jet Nunley, if you want to go, you got to go now, buddy. But Chris Andrews says ain't going to happen here. The 14A holding on down to the bottom, has a little bit of a push there, a little bit of a hiccup. Here comes Nunley. Nunley trying to look to the inside, knows that he's got some valuable points here. Checkered flag will fly. It's going to be Chris Andrews winning heat race number 1. Jet Nunley will finish in second, and Cody Barnes going to round out your top 3. But ladies and gentlemen, how about it for a good old boy right there? The Randy's Performance, number 14A. That is Chris Andrews out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, getting Hyper Racing Heat Race number 1. Hyper Heat Racing number 2 rolls out onto the track nice and quick here. It's going to be Kyle Hooper out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 14K. On the pole to his outside from Quapaw, Oklahoma, Dexter Thompson, the 3T. Row number 2 on the inside from Concord, North Carolina, the 15T. That is Tylen Trammell to the outside from Mooresville, North Carolina, the 17A. That is Ethan Mitchell. Row 3 on the inside from Peyton, Colorado, the 24S. That is Colby Sokol. And to the outside from Phoenix, Arizona, the 3 of Drew Sherman. And in row number 4, Clayton Wilson from Goodyear, Arizona, the 67Z. And Lawrence Mann Jr. from Corpus Christi, Texas, the 11M. Rolling off 9th, it's Heath Walton out of Mifton, PA, in the 14T.
So 8 laps the distance, passing points of the utmost importance. As Corey looking over the field, making sure everybody's exactly where they need to be. The lights go down. The field is set. We're going to be going green flag racing coming off turn number 4, heat race number 2. Brought to you by Hyper Racing with the stock non-wing micros.
Down the back straightaway, here we go. Cinch them down tight, get ready, get set, and go. Out of turn number 4, Kyle Hooper, old shotgun, going to get the 14K rolling pretty good here right out the gate. But look out now because they start tracking them down the back straightaway. The 17A of Ethan Mitchell going to be the first car to go to the top side. But Colby Sokol says, man, you got to watch yourself here down at the bottom because here I come. 24S going to try and look to the inside of him. That's a battle for third on your screen. A drive and a dive down into turn number 3. The 17A trying to take the spot away. Not giving up there on that line, though, because he knows that it's got to come in. It's got to be in play sooner or later. Right now, though, it's all going to be the 14K of Kyle Hooper. Shotgun on the field, shotgun on the heat race so far. As the battle still ensues behind him, Tylen Trammell in second. Sokol and Mitchell, your top 4. Drew Sherman going to be in that 5th spot. Down the back straightaway here, Ethan Mitchell still trying to work on the 24S. As now Sokol going to work on that 15T machine of Tylen Trammell. Hooper kind of checked that on the field, has over a second advantage on him. As they work through turns 3 and 4, things going to get interesting here real quick because Mitchell is still coming and still driving deep down into the turn here in turn number 3, trying to make it work. White flag is going to fly here. We're going to go final time around. The checkered flag will fly for Kyle Hooper. Checkered is out. Hooper gets the win. Second will go to Tylen Trammell, and third to Colby Sokol. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, your heat race winner. Oh, shotgun, Kyle Hooper gets the job done there in heat race number 2. Hyper Racing heat race number 3 rolls out onto the track, and it's going to line up like this. On the pole, you're going to find the car number 81. That is Frank Flood out of Pryor, Oklahoma. To his outside from Bixby, Oklahoma, the 14C of Cannon McIntosh. Inside of row number 2, car number 3X of Cole Roberts out of Owasso, Oklahoma. To the outside, your overall quick time from Butler, Pennsylvania, the 83H of Colin Hutchinson. It's Jack Cassick out of Guthrie, the 6K. Colton Hardy, the 41 from Phoenix in row number 3. Then it's Koonsman Jr. out of Bath, PA, the 21K. Carter Batterby, the 210 out of Montgomery, Texas. And Jada Lawrenson Out of Tucson, Arizona, the 19J. Green flag is out. The race is on. Down the back straightaway, Flood has the race lead. Cannon McIntosh there in second. Colin Hutchinson going to be looking to the high side as Cole Roberts takes the 3X down to the inside there, running in that third spot. Field now continuing working here. Hyper Racing heat race number 3. Still Flood, McIntosh, and Roberts. No challenge. We first see challenges outside the top 4. Back here, the battle for 5th. Jack Kasich holds on to it. Got a couple of drivers trying to make things happen around the backside of the field. Koonsman, one of those drivers in the 21K, sitting back there trying to linger around the bottom side of the racetrack. Takes him 3 wide out of turn number 4. Nothing changing up front. Nothing to see there. Move along, folks. Move along, Frank Flood says. Nothing to see here. Just heat race number 3. Going past the halfway point with 3 laps remaining. Still watching battles back here at the rear of the field. Cannon McIntosh trying to be one of those drivers to change things up here. He changes things up through 3 and 4. Goes back to the bottom down here through 1 and 2. White flag is out. Your leader goes down through turns 1 and 2. It's still Flood, McIntosh, and Roberts. Down off of 4, Frank Flood will win heat race number 3. McIntosh in second. Cole Roberts going to round out your top 3. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen, from Pryor, Oklahoma, the FM Performance. Number 81, that is Mr. Frank Flood. Heat race number 4, here it comes. The 2J of Brant Woods out of Chickasha, Oklahoma, going to be on the pole to his outside. From Newcastle, Oklahoma, car number 8 of Josh Marcham. Row number 2 on the inside. It's JT Moss, the 5M out of Manford, Oklahoma, and Jaden Friesen out of Sutton, Nebraska, the 2F. In row number 3, Stone Smith out of Springdale, Arkansas, car number 5S, and Avery Morgan out of Mays, Kansas, in the 07A. Nicholas Harris out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, the 11H, and the 51M of Rustin Moss out of Manford, Oklahoma, and then Jackson Girardi, the 46G out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Here we go. Green flag is out. Look out, some contact back here for that third spot. Push him 3 wide. Avery Morgan going to look to the inside of him. The 07A going to move up into the third spot, but not for long. 3 wide, bumping and banging. Some wheels touching out of the front straightaway, down the front straightaway rather. And no harm, no foul. Everybody kind of gets everything set back in, set back down. It's going to be Brant Woods and Josh Marcham at the top of the field here as JT Moss and Avery Morgan try to chase him down. Jaden Friesen, the 2F, he picked up a feature win here last weekend with the National Open Wheel 600 Series. Looking to back it up here this weekend. Clips the berm just the wrong way. Gosh darn it, Haas, the announcer's curse. You, Haas. That's Haas's fault. I'll take the blame for that yellow flag, Jaden Friesen. The 2J of Brant Woods, Josh Marcham, JT Moss going to be your top 3. Avery Morgan, Nicholas Harris going to be the top 5 as Friesen looks to get a little push through the infield. Back to green we go here. No wasting no time. Back to green flag racing here in Hyper Racing heat race number 4. Marcham trying to mount a run here on the 2J of Brant Woods. They work through turns 3 and 4. Marcham up and over the berm, hanging that left front over there, trying to make it work. Not enough for him to get by the 2J of Brant Woods as they go down into 3. Woods going to hang it over just a touch. Right around the bottom of the field will go. Back here, Avery Morgan holding off the 11H of Nicholas Harris. The white flag is out. Brant Woods works through 3 and off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Brant Woods is a heat race winner, followed by Josh Marcham and JT Moss, the top 3 for Hyper Racing heat race number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that? A round of applause for the 2J Brant Woods, winner of Hyper Racing Heat Race number 4. Hyper Racing Heat Race number 5 rolls out onto the racetrack. No time for waiting around, no time to let it linger. The 20Q of Skylar Kinney going to be on the pole, the driver out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Behind him, the 21 of Steven Snyder Jr. from Rising Sun, Maryland. Jeffrey Newell out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 1S. And the 95B of James Rosselli out of Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, make up row number 2. Kel Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, the 71. And KJ Snow from Kingsburg, California, make up row number 3. Brandon Lewis out of Broken Arrow, the 97L, and the 77 of Gabe Roy make up row number 4. And it's Owen Larson tagging the field, the 83X out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Green flag is out. The race is on. Steven Snyder Jr. trying to take off with the early race lead, and he does just that. But look out, because here comes Rosselli and Jeffrey Newell down through turns 1 and 2. Things going to get interesting here. Kel Drake trying to make it interesting. Going high, wide, and handsome around the outside of him, trying to find something. A bobble through turns 1 and 2 out of Steven Snyder Jr. is something you don't see very often, but the berm looks to be playing a little bit of havoc, a little bit tricky for him in certain spots of the turn. Battle right there on your screen down the back straightaway to the inside of KJ Snow. They're 3 wide back here. It's KJ Snow, Kel Drake going to work as Rosselli holding off Jeffrey Newell. It's going to be Steven Snyder Jr., James Rosselli, Jeffrey Newell, KJ Snow, Kel Drake, your top 5. Skylar Keeney, Brandon Lewis, Owen Larson, and Gabe Roy going to be the field. 2 to go this time by. 2 flags in hand, ready for the wide out of turn number 4 for Steven Snyder Jr. Steven Snyder Jr. takes him down the back straightaway for the final time into turn 3 out of turn number 4. Checkered flag will fly. The race is completed for Steven Snyder Jr., your race winner. James Rosselli and Jeffrey Newell going to be the top 3 there for heat race number 5 of 5. How about it for the Hyper Racing entry of Steven Snyder Jr.? Race fans, if you haven't already, check out www.poweri-superfan.com and get in the groove here with us. Thanks to our friends at Audazio, bringing you some special one-of-a-kind notes and graphics in hand. Enhance your race night at Audazio. Visit www.poweri-superfan.com. Moving along in our racing program, junior sprint heat races are up next. Looking for them to roll them. Keep the show a-rolling. It's Thursday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the feeling is just right.
Your Rush Race Gear Heat Race number 1 heads this way. Safety, comfort, sponsor visibility. With extra flex of built-in, soft, lightweight materials, our suits are some of the most comfortable on the market. More details at rushracegear.com. Heat Race number 1 of 3. It's the 23G of Cam Crawford, 47M of Maggie Stirrup on row 1. The 1, Paxton Perry, the 14W of Lane White in row number 2. Grayson Logan, Mason McBride in row 3, Tom Hernley, Casey Keeney in row number 4, as Fisher Kelsey and Brody Lewis making up the field. Going green, lap number 1 underway. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Rush Race Gear for your junior sprints. The 23G Cam Crawford out to the early advantage, leading lap number 1. It's Crawford, Stirrup in second. Lane White rounded out the podium placements, as Paxton Perry going to slot into 4th. Grayson Logan rounded out the top 5. Hernley up to 6. Keeney, Kelsey, as McBride and Lewis unable to make the call here in heat race number 1. Everybody's still chasing car number 23G Cam Crawford, your leader, half a second advantage on the previous lap. Stirrup sitting in the second spot, now 6/10 back. Lane White advancing a position up to 3rd overall, as Perry to 4th. Grayson, Logan, Hernley, Keeney, Kelsey, still the field. A little bit of a battle brewing for the positions number 3 and 4. 2 more times around. Not much change in front of the field. Still about 0.6 of a separation between the top 2. 23G of Cam Crawford as the white waves one more time around. Maggie Strop sitting right there in second in the 47M. A little bit of a push, exit of turn number 2 through 3 out of 4. Heat race number 1 winner to car number 23G of Cam Crawford. Second place belongs to the 47M Maggie Stirrup. 14W of Lane White in third. The 1, Paxton Perry, finishes 4th. Logan in 5. Hernley 6. Keeney, Kelsey, McBride, and Lewis unofficially the field as heat race number 1 of 3, brought to you by Rush Race Gear, gonna belong to the 23G of Cam Crawford. Heat race number 2 gets ready to head out onto the racetrack, brought to you by Rush Race Gear. 8 laps the distance, passing points of the utmost importance, as it's the 17H of Huxon Roush, the 47 of Stetson Stirrup in row number 1. Row 2, the 7W of Willard Ballard, and the 15 of Braylon Morris. Third row, the 19 of Liam Barton, the 5 of Gage Pio, 11S of Crawlin Pruitt, the 74C of Cale Martin in row 4. Row number 5, the 3T of Bentley Thompson, and car number 49 of Brooks White. 10 cars scheduled, 8 laps the distance. Here, Rush Race Gear, heat race number 2 of 3, the junior sprints. Go green. Good start, front of the field. Looks like inside line going to have it at Stirrup. Going to try to change lines. Exit at 2. Grabs the lead down the back straightaway. The 47 of Stetson Stirrup taking over the top spot. Lap number 1. As Huxon Roush going to fade to second. Ballard third. Morris, Barton, your top 5. Pio on the outside looking in. Pruitt, Thompson, Martin, White, the field. 6 more times around, this time by battle. Mid-pack for 4th and 5th. As Liam Barton going to set sail past that car number 15 of Braylon Morris. Morris rounding out the top 5. P.O. Pruitt, Thompson, Martin, and White still outside looking in. Everybody chasing the 47 of Stetson Stirrup in that top spot. Last time by had about an 8/10 advantage over the 17C of Huxon Roush. Roush still sitting in the second spot, but this time by it's up to a 1.15 between the top 2. Ballard still in third, Barton in 4, Morris, your top 5. A little bit of a battle throughout the field. Everybody kind of single file like a freight train around the inside. White waves one more time around. Started outside row number 1, grabbed the lead on lap 1, has not looked back. A 1.5 advantage. Your heat race number 2 winner, the 47 of Stetson Stirrup. Second place going to belong to the 17C of Huxon Roush. 7W of Willard Ballard in third. 19 of Liam Barton and the 15 of Braylon Morris rounding out the top 5. Gage Pio, Colin Pruitt, Cale Martin, Bentley Thompson, Brooks White unofficially your field. Here, Rush Race Gear heat race number 2 belongs to the 47 of Stetson Stirrup. Heat race number 3 of 3 for the junior sprints being brought to you by Rush Race Gear heading up the ramp. 8 laps the distance, 9 competitors, as it's the 14 of Jackson Evatt on the pole, the 1P, Paxton Belchick outside row number 1. Row number 2, going to find the 65 of Brighton Bowie, the 87 of Levi Ballard. Row 3, the 56L Giovanni Lucido and the 21B of Brantley Lewis. Row number 4, the 83 of Audrey Larson, the 45 of Colt Crisp. 5th and final row out of Mustang, Oklahoma, going to be car number 66 of Breck Bowie. 9 cars scheduled, 8 laps the distance. Jimmy's throwing the radio. We look for green out of turn number 4. Heat race number 3 with the junior sprints is green. Side-by-side battle as they come down the front straightaway into turns number 1 and 2. Evan on the inside. Belchick on the high side as it's going to be the 14 of Jackson Evett. Leading lap number 1. The 65 of Brighton Bowie up to third as the 87 of Levi Ballard going to try to swap that spot. Heading into turn 3 and 4. Evett still at the point. Belchick sitting second. Bowie, Ballard, Lucido rounding out the top 5 as Lewis, Larson, Breck Bowie, Colt, Chris, your field. Problems for the 87 of Levi Ballard going down the back straightaway. See if you can pull that car down into the infield. We can stay green. As he does, we stay green with the 14 of Jackson Evett leading the way. Paxton Belchick right there in the second spot. Top 3 have separated from the rest of the field with the 65 of Brighton Bowie in that final podium placement. Go back a little bit. You'll find the 21B, Brantley Lewis in 4, Lucido in 5, Larson, Crisp, Breck Bowie is the field 2 more times around, this time by our leader, the 14 of Jackson Evett, setting sail with this one. May see a little bit of a battle for the second spot as the 65 of Brighton Bowie look low, now takes it high. White waves one more time around. It is all the 14 of Jackson Evett out front pulling away. Heat race number 3 winner from the pole going to be car number 14 of Jackson Evett. Second place to the 1P of Paxton Belchick. 65 of Brighton Bowie in third. 21B Brantley Lewis, the 56L Giovanni Lucido rounding out the top 5. Audrey Larson, Breck Bowie, Colt Crisp, Levi Ballard unofficially your field. In Rush Race Gear Heat Race number 3 of 3 with the Power Eye Junior Sprints. As coming out onto the racetrack for your now 600 restrictors, heat racing action being brought to you by Milestone Home Services, proudly serving the Dallas-Fort Worth community as a family-owned and operated home service company. Your satisfaction is our top priority. Schedule online at callmilestone.com.
So a little bit of moisture being added to the top side of the racetrack here as we ready for Milestone Home Service Company Heat Race number 1 for the Restricted Money Series from the National Open Wheel 600 Series. Here's how it's going to line up. We'll get this one out of the way so we can catch our breath. It's going to be Dakota Warhorse out of Joshua, Texas, the 7W, Nicholas Harris, the 11HH from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Braxton Flatt from Monmouth, Illinois, the 72, inside of row number 2 to the outside, Gavin Bolt out of Manhattan, Kansas, the 75X. Row number 3 will find Brooks Bowie out of Oklahoma City in the 66, and Riker Jones out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, car number 22. Row number 4, Logan Moreno in the 1M out of Quapaw, Oklahoma, and Braden Lewis from Coweta, Oklahoma, in car number 75. And rounding out the field, the 11S of Sawyer McBride out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Some lineup there for heat race number 1. So far, I'm going to say this is all I ever wanted. It's all I ever needed as well.
Yeah.
The KKM is back. All right.
All right.
A reminder, those fans here in attendance, we do have merchandise booths open. The KKM group has a booth, a tent set up down here right across from the concession stand area. We've got some candies. They've got some things for the kiddos as well. You can keep on down the midway there to find the Power Eye Flying A merchandise trailer with Power Eye merchandise available, as well as several of our Elite 16 Power Eye Honest Abe 410 Outlaw Sprint League drivers having shirts for selling there. Some of them you may know from Port City Raceway, being Hank Davis has some shirts, Reese Moran has some shirts. Pretty sure our friend Noah Gass still has some shirts left available down in the merch booth. So stop by and visit those folks. Also, well, Taylor Drake, she's down there. Taylor's got Kel Drake's merchandise van open. They've got stickers, they've got shirts, they've got hats, they've got all kinds of stuff. And by supporting those folks down there, you're supporting the drivers that are here this week. And a lot of these drivers looking to make a career in motorsports and Every single little bit helps. Has a good shot there of the 11HH of Nicholas Harris. Nicholas Harris, the 2025 points champion here at Port City Raceway. All heat races, 8 laps of distance, all drivers vying for points. We talk about the restrictor format, drivers getting those points in heat races and qualifying as well. It's going to be a combined points from tonight and tomorrow night to line them up for Saturday night's event. So you got to race both nights. You got to be on point. You got to be ready to go. Both nights, full shows for the restrictors and junior sprints. It's not a split field situation like it was, or like